They're not good because they're democracies. They're good because they were good. They were good societies.
Examples of democracies supercharging negative characteristics are the Latin sphere and the Middle East. France was better under a monarchy than it was under a democracy. So was Brazil. So was Greece. A bunch of lower trust societies. Same thing with in the Middle East, democracies have performed better. In the Middle East, democracies vote in the preferences of the majority group. So when America made Iraq a democracy, the majority Shia voted in to oppress the minority Sunni, and then they sided with America's rival Iran.
Yeah, but it's not just, sure, but the issue is like, this is why when we look at democracies, there are different systems that work better, right? Like there are certain, like, I'm sure you probably oppose like direct democracy, right? Like the Greeks did, because it doesn't work very well, it leads to a lot of tyranny, right? There's the tyranny of majority to be feared in democracy.
It's also slow.
I'm going to respond to your point
but democracies, the point of all these systems is to build counters to the major failings, right? In the case of a democracy, you have to be afraid of the majority, the tyranny of majority. And so you have to build into the system checks and balances to prevent against the tyranny of majority as much as possible.
You're appealing to wishy-washy concepts where if there's an external threat, you have to assess it for what it is based on context. And you pick the highest quality person to do the assessing of context. And the thing with John Rawls is it's not an accurate depiction of the human condition to randomly pick what individual you would be, because that's not how this works. Individuals have their own genetics, and groups have different genetics, and people are rewarded for the choices they make. And so
that's not a refutation of Rawls. Rawls' hypothetical can engage without the.
So
sure, but you're saying that Rawls doesn't work because there's no baked in genetics, but that's not the point of the hypothetical.
You need to let me finish the argument.
Okay.
So Rawls operates under an underlying Christian assumption that there's indeterminate souls that you shove into a population. That's not what happens. A population is made up of individuals with different traits that make choices. And so you can't say, if I were to randomly pick a certain population, what would I be? Because there's nothing random. An individual is the aggregation of all of the choices that went through them. And so you can't say, if I were to be born in a blank society, because the society is informed by the contextual decisions of everyone involved up to that point. It strips context from the entire human condition.
So this is like saying trolley problems strip context because they like engage in hypotheticals.
Let's say instead of saying Rawls, just make the argument of, just articulate the argument.
Sure, yeah. The veil of ignorance is this thought experiment in the way that trolley problems are thought experiments, which is designed to help you decide which principles you want in your society. So if you imagine a society where you can't know who you will be in that society, what are some of the principles you hope are there? Rule of law, right? And like fair treatment before justice would be one that we would all be for, because I don't ever want to be in the minority group that just gets treated poorly by the justice system because I happen to be in that minority group.